Hello and welcome to With Wellner Anderson. This is a channel where we talk about economics, business, finance, and politics, but we talk about it in simple terms. This is one of the parts of the inflation video, and what we're going to do is talk about examples where stimulus was provided and it brought on inflation. First of all, let's start out by defining what is inflation. Inflation is a general loss of purchasing power over time. We're going to talk about the 2009 fiscal issue because it's resolved. Right now we're in the middle of COVID. We've also just announced an infrastructure plan, so we're not going to talk about either one of those. We're going to talk about the 2009 fiscal problem. Okay, there are three types of stimulus we're going to talk about. And basically they're either monetary or fiscal stimulus. We're going to talk about direct payments made to individuals. We're going to talk about payments made to build infrastructure. And we're going to talk about payments made to banks and other businesses. All that occurred during the 2009 financial crisis. Okay, first of all, let's talk about money for a moment. People have a natural thing, it's innumerability. People have a hard time understanding what money is. I did. For example, in a room 12 by 12 by 12, stacked with $100 bills, would that be $1 million, $1 billion, or $1 trillion? Basically, to make you understand what's going on here is $1 trillion is 1 million times 1 million. It's an 18-digit number. $1 trillion is enough money to pay the budgets of 5 of the largest states in the United States. Okay, now let's go to the 2009 fiscal issue. There were numerous plans that were implemented by President Bush or President Obama. There was the Troubled Assets Relief Program. There was the Emergency Economic Stabilization Program under President Bush. And under President Obama, there was the American Reinvestment and Recovery Act. During that time, there was also money given to Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. These are two organizations that get involved with doing financing when you're talking about mortgages. Okay, $1 trillion again. If you took $100 bills and lined them up one on top of the other, $1 trillion would reach a quarter of the way to the moon. That's how much money that is. And here's why I'm really upset. Because most of that time, the money doesn't go exactly where it needs to go. For example, it's well known that 7% of the money that is used for stimulus is known fraud. 72% of it goes to leakage. And what leakage means that it doesn't get invested directly into the economy, it goes to some other place. And in this case, when we talk about stimulus programs, the leakage seems to go into savings. And once it goes into savings, there's the ability for the bank to take that money and produce more money from it. I guess where I'm going is, there's only so much money to go around. And as a senior citizen, I feel it's kind of reckless for us to take this money away from our descendants. This money is gonna have to be paid back somehow. Most of the stimulus payments go to Social Security recipients. And what we do with our money, is we'll take the money and put it in the bank, and it doesn't go in direct stimulus to the economy. We've got to think about the legacy we're leaving behind to the rest of our descendants. As a sidebar, I like to talk about another issue that's not being talked about. The CDC, as you well know, has allowed it so that people haven't been I cannot be evicted for a period of time. So what happens is that money, I believe the states don't know how many people who are in the eviction process. They have no idea, they're so backlogged. We don't know how big the CDC lockdown release once landlords are able to evict people and the courts are fully operational. This could be millions, hundreds of millions of dollars, and we have no idea how large this is. You're talking about landlords, and I hear criticism saying, well, the landlords can afford it. Well, the average landlord, 70% of landlords are small landlords. They may own one house. They may rent out upstairs. They're behind. The other thing that happens, there are free riders. A free rider is someone who normally would not pay his rent. And because this happened under COVID, you have 2 years worth of free riders, or people who would normally be evicted that are now supported by the CDC issue. So, where are we going? We need to consider the fact that if we leave the legacy of the financial burden on our children, you gotta remember, the millennials and the Gen Zs have the largest credit card debt in history. They have $1.7 trillion in student loans. They're living at home. They can't buy homes. Guys, this is going to impact us. There's no doubt. Don't you want your children's life to be better than yours? That's not going to happen. Wake up. I'm sorry to get so indignant, but guys, our goal is to hope our kids have a better life than us. And right now we're not doing it. I'd like to thank you very much for your time. I'd like to give you a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a good day.